are still at the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair, and right now I am joined by PR and marketing of the Rural Electrification Fund, Mr. Nyamayedenga. Sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, so to begin with, Mr. Nyamayedenga, what is the mandate of your parastatal?
Oh, thank you very much for that question. Let me start by telling you who REA is, or REF. This parastatal is called Rural Electrification Fund. It was registered through an Act of Parliament in 2002. Now, it is popularly known as Rural Electrification Agency. Now, the Rural Electrification Fund is the board. Now the board saw it fit to create an implementing arm. Those people who do the work on the ground. These are the people who are called the Rural Electrification Agents. Is the implementing arm of Rural Electrification Fund. Now, REA or REF came into effect in 2002 through an Act of Parliament with the mandate of providing energy in rural areas of Zimbabwe for economic empowerment of communities as well as the general development of rural Zimbabwe. Then our mandate, as I've said, is to make sure that benefits enjoyed by people who live in urban areas should be the same benefits enjoyed by those people who live in the rural areas of Zimbabwe. You know, in the past, anything to do with energy was favoring only those in urban in towns and cities, when communities in rural areas were neglected. But we are saying we want to bridge that gap by providing energy in rural Zimbabwe.
Okay, and can you just tell us about your products and services?
Yes, in terms of products and services, we have the conventional grid electricity, which you know about. We are also into solar and biogas energy. And our Department of Planning and Technology is busy exploiting other energy programs, like they are looking into wind. Do we have enough wind in Zimbabwe which can generate electricity? So they are making research on those areas. But at the moment, we have biogas, solar, and the conventional grid electricity.
And to what extent have you gone in providing electricity for rural Zimbabwe?
Right. Since REF came into effect in 2002, I am proud to tell the nation that we've managed to extend the grid network to almost 10,000 public institutions countrywide. These include primary and secondary schools, rural health centers, government extension offices. If I talk of government extension offices, I'm talking about police posts, I'm talking about DDF offices, veterinary service offices, district development coordinators offices, which are in rural areas. These are what we are talking about when we talk of public institutions. We are also extending the grid network to rural communities, to homesteads. Right. We are saying when a rural community wants electricity, we encourage them to form group schemes so that they'll benefit from a subsidy which we are offering. At the moment, our subsidy is pegged at 50%, which means if our guys come to a village, they do the measurements and give you a quotation, let's say $100,000. You don't pay $100,000. You pay $50,000 because our subsidy is pegged at 50%. Then you'll be able to enjoy electricity. On public institutions which we've talked about, they don't pay anything. They are electrified under 100% capital subsidy. What they pay at the end of the day is only their bills for using that electricity.
So back to the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair, what are you telling people who are visiting your stand?
Yes, at ZITF, this is a very important platform where people are free to come to our stand and meet our officers who will be able to give them full explanations on energy portfolios which we are offering. For example, if someone comes to the office, people in the offices or our officers will not be able to give them thorough explanations because they will be occupied with some other engagements in offices. But if you come here to our stand, you'll be able to get everything you want. And it pano ndo patsime patuti vaima uya mesi munyatsonzwa kuti what type of energy fits your area. Is it grid? Is it solar? Is it biogas? So we are saying, oh, must come to here those who need energy at their homesteads, farms, schools, clinics, and benefit.
So the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair is running under the theme Transformative Innovation and Global Competitiveness. You as REA, to what extent would you say you are aligned with this theme?
Thank you for your good question. Remember, in the past, we didn't have electricity in rural areas. If we had it, it was very, very minimal. Maybe it would be found at missionary schools. But if you look at our nation as an agricultural-based nation, we are interested in agriculture and farming. All the years, rural communities, they are some of the biggest producers of food for the nation, but they've been able to do their farming through rain-fed. We are saying if there's a drought, we don't have food for the nation. But we are saying if we manage to extend the grid network to your farm where there's water, you are able to farm all year round and produce all sorts of crops for selling at your local market, as well as transporting some of your crops to the grain marketing board, and the grain marketing board will sell to even to other countries. So we are saying the turnaround of a farmer will start when that farmer has electricity as his or her homestead. That's the beginning. Then you are able to be competitive in terms of food production. Right. Let's go to rural schools. Rural schools, you know, there are some of most brilliant children who are there, but they lacked important subjects like science subjects because there's no electricity. But now if there is electricity, those young boys and girls will be able to learn these other important subjects and be able to go to the universities and make an impact there and be able to work for their country.
And that was Ms. Nyamayedenga from the Rural Electrification Fund telling us of how they want rural Zimbabwe to have electricity. Pleasant viewing.